Welcome to the MLS Show. It is me, Baz. It's a little bit different. Normally record in the studio. I'm not in the studio. I'm in my house because Ped is doing other things. However, I have got a very, very special guest with an excellent knowledge of MLS, I'll say. I don't want to put him too much on the spot. I am joined by Scott Nicholls, who is the host of Beyond the Pitch podcast. It's a lot more than that. So, Scott, just give us a little bit of background about what you do and give us all the information we need.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me on. I love watching the MLS show with you and Ped, so it's actually, quite excited to be on for the first of all. Second of all, Beyond the Pitch. It's run by a guy called Phil Brown. We just signed with NBC Sports in America to do podcasts and some video content. I host the MLS edition of Beyond the Pitch, which is one of many iterations that we do. Otisel is a former FC Dallas player, so, he's my co-host there. And, we're just getting it underway. We recorded the first show last week. I actually recorded a show with you and Adam Partington from Grand Old Team the other day, talking about Kyle Larian and going to Everton, so it's all moving in the right direction. And, it's really ramping up for us right now, especially with the MLS season underway. So, really excited.
Excellent. So don't forget, check out all of Scott's work. But he is here, so stay here and listen to him here with me. Obviously, don't be looking anywhere else at the minute. Right, let's get on with it. Week 7 of Major League Soccer. Scott, I'm going to start with a game I watched on Friday night here, which was Philadelphia Union 0, New York City 2. And it was an intriguing game. It was an intriguing game because Philadelphia Union are pants at the moment. Results-wise, not necessarily performance-wise. And I think you'd remember last season they started off unbelievably under Jim Curtin and led the Eastern Conference for a long period of time. This time out, having an absolute nightmare, bottom of the Eastern Conference, and when you're bottom, you don't want to be welcoming David Villa and co into your backyard when you need a result. But New York City turned up the heat on them, didn't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that's what New York City do. They are one of the best teams in Major League Soccer right now. Make no mistake. Don't take it for granted that they're sitting in 4th right now. I mean, they only have 1 loss, and they have 2 losses right now. Sorry, I'm just looking at the table in the wrong way. There you go. So 2 losses, both away from home. And I know you can talk about the pitch, but look, they've got a plethora of incredible players, but in a mix of experience and youth too. They've got your journeyman like Tommy McNamara and David Villa with that incredible sort of goal. Did you hear the reason why he actually took that shot as well?
Yeah.
He just said, I was tired from running. Just tired, so I thought I'd have a shot. And it went in. But that's the sort of stuff that New York City can do, right? That's the stuff they can do. And Patrick Vieira has completely transformed them, in my opinion. I'm really excited about what they are doing there in New York right now. And look, Philadelphia, I actually went to school in America. I actually went to school near the Philadelphia Union, and they're big. The Sons of Ben are huge. They are loyal, and they are fierce, and they are an incredible fan base. And they actually have a great movie, which if you haven't seen, everybody watching and you, Bez, you need to watch it. It's awesome. Yeah. It's really, really cool. But this isn't where they want to be. They had a great sort of start to life in the league, and they got in the playoffs, and they lost in the semi-finals one year, I think, to Houston, or it could have been Sporting Kansas City. But regardless, sitting bottom of the table isn't going to sit well with Jim Curtin, with Philadelphia, or with its fans. They're going to have to figure out a way to turn it around. And you can say maybe they've had a little bit of a tough start to the year with the sort of scheduling, but the last 4 games have been losses. It's so difficult to turn that around, that mentality around. It's I'm interested to see what they do with it because it's getting scary. They're getting sort of forget Minnesota is the worst team in MLS right now. It's the Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, I mean it was a tight game and. One of our countrymen opened the scoring. We spoke about him on a different show. Jack Harrison, he's put them ahead. But it was from the moment that they went 1-0 up, there didn't seem to be any belief from the Union that they could get back into the game. And then, as you say, David Villa. Me and Ped normally do a goal of the week. I don't think we need to discuss a goal of the week this week because that was it right there. No. An absolute screamer.
It's true.
But we'll have to. Philadelphia Union, they can turn it round. They just need to start very quickly. Moving on, Vancouver 2, Seattle Sounders 1. This game will be remembered for Juice Dempsey hitting the woodwork twice in it, and Montreal scoring twice against his old club and doing that old thing where I'm not really going to celebrate scoring against my old club. But I would have thought he scored. They left him on his own twice, and I would have thought, having played with him, you'd be alive to where his positioning was. But, you know, one of those things for Seattle, they, of course, are MLS Cup holders. And away from home, on the road at the moment, just can't seem to get it right.
Yeah, it's strange to see the Seattle. I mean, look, we're only 6 games. Well, they've only played 6 games. We're in week 7. They've only played 6. But to see the Seattle Sounders with just 1 win from 6 games is just not something I expect of that team. And, you know, Brian Schmetzer, frankly, I can't help but think they're going to turn it around. I still think that they're a lock for the playoffs this season. But you're right, they should have known what was coming with Freddie Montero, and it didn't look like they had much of a game plan to do it. Now, whether that's because of the personnel that they have, or whether that's just because the game plan didn't work and Freddie Montero is that good, you know, is another thing. And Deuce hit the woodwork. But look, I mean, Seattle has a very capable backup in Will Bruin. I know Will very well from my time in Houston. And I've always campaigned that he's one of the most underrated players in MLS. Like, he's not flashy. Don't get me wrong. He's not a flashy guy, but he scores goals, you know. I mean, he has way more goals than Wondolowski did by his age in this league. So, you know, I really do think that if Will Bruin can put together a decent season in Seattle, Dempsey's not going to be there forever. So, you know, let's see how he does. I'm really pulling for Will Bruin, but, you know, Vancouver are a strange team too, you know. Vancouver's a very strange team in that you think they should be really good. I was really excited when Giles Barnes went there. I thought that was a really good move for him initially, and just nothing really happened with them. And you know, they haven't won away from home yet this season, and that's something that they're going to have to figure out. It's very difficult to win away from home in MLS, though. Let's not you know, discount that. So teams that have just a serviceable record away from home can make the playoffs. And I actually, when I did the first podcast with Otis on BTP, I didn't have the Vancouver Whitecaps getting in. And I'm still kind of leaning towards them just because I think there are just so many, just a couple teams better than them. You know, they just need to take that extra step and show me that they can do it. And maybe if Montero keeps scoring like this, maybe they can show me that.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of seasons ago, Carl Robinson they were unbelievable with Octa Riverio and people like that. They looked an exciting team, but then last year they just hit a brick wall, didn't they? And, you know, the year when Timbers beat them in the semi-finals, I think, of MLS Cup, and from then it doesn't look like they've recovered. And again, this season they've started off slowly, but this obviously 7th place in the Western Conference at the moment. But getting that win, we'll now see if they can kick on from there. Seattle, of course, 9th at the moment, but like you said, very, very early. But the first Cascadia Cup game, seeing Vancouver beat them. San Jose, you mentioned Chris Wondolowski there. San Jose won, FC Dallas won. Didn't score in this one though, but San Jose leaving it late again. Another late equaliser. I mean, Kellen Acosta scores a fortuitous goal, shall we say. He slips and kicks it from one foot onto the other, and it drops in. But I suppose, you know, the model of this one is San Jose stuck at it like they have been doing and got the rewards with almost the last kick of the game in 94th minute equaliser. And looking at it from the outside, I mean, you know, you spent a lot of time over in the States, Scott. You can tell me more. But how does San Jose make that next step? Because they seem to be one of those teams that they've got some good players, but they don't really seem to threaten after a certain a certain level. They don't seem to be able to get to that next level. Looking at it from over here, anyway.
Okay. Yeah, San Jose, they're a team that I've been talking a lot about with a lot of people, both in private and in public on Twitter, in podcasts and stuff. Look, they have a lot of good things going for them. They have that beautiful new stadium. Yeah. I mean, I know it doesn't mean much, but they have a beautiful new kit too. I love their kit. And they have a lot that, again, like they have some experienced players in Wondolowski as well. And, you know, you'd think that with Dom Kinnear at the helm, he could steer them to sort of at least a playoff place. The problem with Dom Kinnear is that he's not known for being like having a lot of flair. You know, and I think that's part of the problem with San Jose. I think that maybe, you know, you need to move on from a guy like Dom Kinnear and bring in somebody, not that he's not a good manager and that he's not doing a good job, but I think, you know, San Jose, you think flair, you think style, you think, you know, all these things, and they just don't really have it, but they grind results out. And it's actually interesting Dallas hasn't lost on the road, and San Jose hasn't lost at home. So I guess a draw was the most likely outcome for this result, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, do you subscribe to, just quickly on FC Dallas, me and Ped often refer to them as the best team in MLS in terms of just the way they run, I suppose, and the way that they're not over-reliant, well, they're not reliant on big-name DPs or anything like that. And Oscar Pareja has done it a different way, and Dallas really good at developmental level, I think they're under 15s done really well in the Dallas Cup, going right through. I think they were the last season, I think I'm right, they won under 16, under 18 championships as well, something like that. So a lot going on youth-wise and bringing academy players through and everything else. Do you subscribe to that they're kind of almost the 4 leaders with Major League Soccer?
Yeah, look, here's the thing with Dallas. They do it their own way. Pareja does it his own way. Yeah. Otis will tell you that. He was drafted by Pareja, and he said, look, a guy like Pareja can make you feel 100% better than you actually are ability-wise. You want to die for that guy on the field, and they do it. Like they are the most successful club, in my opinion, at bringing youth players through. And I mean, look at Kellen Acosta. He's a great player. They love the sort of young talent. They've got that young fullback as well right now, is playing very well for them too. So you just think, if everybody could do it that way, everyone would do it that way. But this is a culture in Dallas, It's not just something that you can do. The Dynamo have youth academies, LA Galaxy, all the teams now are starting to have these youth academies. But Dallas has been doing it right for the longest. And, I've been making comparisons, maybe a little bit unfairly now, you put it this way, to Atlanta United. I think Atlanta is the Dallas of the Eastern Conference. They have the right balance of youth, but they do have the big name DPs that you're right that Dallas doesn't. And they're an enigma, certainly. And I think that I can't believe that Pareja hasn't been snapped up by a club in Europe or even Mexico by now, because he's such a great manager at being able to take the resources that they have and then turn it into they are, if not the best team, certainly one of the 2 best teams in MLS.
Okay. To be fair, we don't want him to leave MLS, do we? Because he's doing...
No, we don't. And that's the great thing. I don't want him to leave MLS. And Tata Martino's here, and so is Pareja. We need more guys like that. But it's surprising that there's not really been many rumblings and that he's not been prized away already. And do you know what? I think that's because he's a loyal guy, because I've met Oscar Pareja, and he is, one of the most down-to-earth, lovely guys that I've ever met. It's surprising yet not surprising. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Fair enough. San Jose line 5th in the West, Dallas 3rd, as you said. Moving on, a team close to my heart. Orlando City left it late to beat LA Galaxy. Left it very late to beat LA Galaxy.
So they did.
Orlando City 4 from 4 at home. The first team in Major League Soccer to open a stadium, I think they term it, with 4 straight victories. And this one, it was an absolutely brilliant game, to be fair. But that man again, me and you done a special podcast for your Beyond the Pitch and NBC,
yes,
talking about Kyle Larin. And lo and behold, a day later he pops up with another late goal, and a really well taken goal as well.
Oh yeah, I was, like I said on the little name drop here, I was talking to Giles Barnes about it. Look, and Adam's not here to say name drop, but it is. He's right. But here's the thing: the only reason I bring it up is because we were talking about Larry, not about his move, not about anything like that. But we were talking about how just he's so physically like a specimen, and he has so many great things. I think we both agree he might need to work on his first touch a little bit, but at such a young age, for a North American player, he's got everything that you could want him to have. He scored 35% of their goals this year. That tells you how important he is to that team. And like you say, he takes his goals so well. Just so well. He doesn't play like a 21-year-old. He plays like a 27-year-old, But Orlando in that game, they were great. Again, in front of the wall. It's intimidating. It's really intimidating. They've done it so well. I was watching it with my father, actually, and he couldn't believe that this was a game in the United States. He was like, it's like a European atmosphere, for crying out loud. And he's right. They have everything right, Orlando. They're doing a lot of great things. And it's nice to see that there's a lot of teams in the league getting this sort of thing right now.
Yeah.
Soccer-specific stadiums, reaching out to fans. Orlando have done it very well. And I can't believe it wasn't more because Giles Barnes, how that didn't go in, not once but twice. He looked absolutely perplexed at it as well, and he actually drew a really great save from Diop as well as he raced through and go and tried to sneak it in with his left in the second half. So took a bit of a hit, Diop, but I think he's all right. They're an impressive team. They're an impressive team, and with Kaka on that team, just leading them from the dressing room, from the pitch, wherever he's at. Another guy that I love on that team is Will Johnson.
Oh, it's gone up Johnson.
I think he's an incredible player. He's a player that I can't believe hasn't sort of like settled at one team and been there for a long time, So it's strange, but I think they've got too much talent in that team to fail, realistically. And now you have Jason Price, who has the experience of winning MLS Cup, and the things that he did in a small market. Let's remember, AL Salt Lake is a small market, right? No disrespect to you guys out there in Utah, but it's not New York, and it's not, Atlanta, and it's not even New England. So what he did with that team, incredible things, and I'm sure he will at Orlando City as well.
Yeah, it was. They've been really impressive. Will Johnson, like you were saying there, has been absolutely amazing. Scored an absolute cracker as well, by the way. But it's everything else. It's the determination, the tackles, the last, and him and Jonathan Spector coming in. I've just turned it. This is a side, you rightly said, Giles Barnes has made, how he's missed that one early on, I don't know, but he's made a big
I don't think he even knows that.
No, I don't either. He's made a big difference, but this is a team that is doing this well without Kaká. Once Kaká comes back in, you look and think, particularly at home, yes, they've still got work to do on the road, but, even Carlos Rivas, who's a player who has me tearing my hair out at times. He's hit a shot at the weekend from about 35 yards that hit a post and come out as well. But he's looking a different player under Jason Christ as well. So moving in the right direction, most certainly. Kyle Larin with his fourth of the season. Just very quickly, LA Galaxy, Kurt Analfo. It's not been a smooth transition. Myself and Ped, we subscribe to the fact that they've lost Robbie Keane and Alan Gordon and Steven Gerrard and Bruce Arena. Big personalities have gone out of it, and it's a little bit turbulent at the moment. But one player who's looking really good is Alessandrini, the man who obviously scored as well. But they need more, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I don't know how much Jermaine Jones really has to give any longer. To be honest, it was a surprise to me that they actually went out to replace someone like, and say what you want about how good Steven Gerrard was in MLS. That's up for debate. Of course it is. But I think that he has more to give, or he did have more to give than Jermaine Jones at the same point in their careers right now. I know Gerrard was a little bit older, but I think that Gerrard had a little bit of magic that he could find every once in a while, and I don't know that Jermaine Jones has that anymore. And he had a resurgence in Colorado playing in a more attacking role. Maybe they need to use him a little bit more like that. But Alessandrini's sort of carrying them a little bit now. Sebastian Lletget doesn't look like the same player he did even 2 seasons ago, even last season. But we know that there's talent in this team. It's frustrating, and I think some of that is to do with. A lot of it actually is to do with Bruce Arena leaving. To be quite honest with you, and you can't replace somebody like Robbie Keane. He's the best designated player that MLS has ever had potentially. And when you don't go out and replace him with a guy who's exactly the same, because let's be honest, even when he's playing, when he's not playing, Jayasis Zardes is not. He's not consistent enough to be a top MLS striker, in my opinion. And he's a great player, but he's not a Robbie Keane. No. So we'll see how it works out. Ashley Cole at left back is doing quite well. It's good that he's there because Robbie Rogers may never play again with this injury in his foot, and he's a big part of their team. He's a versatile part of their team, and he works very hard. So they will miss him no matter what, and I think they're going to place him on season-ending IR to get a bit of salary relief out of that. Nice. Look, they do have quality. LA Galaxy, and they're sort of perpetual playoff contenders. So it would be unwise, I think, to rule them out. But they have to pull the finger out a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. A team you talked about before, Atlanta United, they lost on the road to Montreal Impact. Cameron Jones, who us English people probably forgot existed. took it. Well, to be fair, he was last knocking around the Cardiff City, and then I know that he went over to. I know he went over to Atlanta. Done a bit last year with, over in the States with this move in mind. But he took his goal really, really well to put them ahead. But then, like this decision, it's Leandro Perez is sent off. I've watched this about 5 times. Okay, at first I'm looking, thinking, I think it's a foul by the. Is it Piatti who goes? I can't remember who it is who goes down.
No, Mancosu. Matteo Mancosu goes down.
Sorry.
Right.
Now, at first I'm thinking he's fouled Perez, but then obviously once it's spun, it's a foul. It is a foul, but a red card. A red card. Isn't that double jeopardy? It's triple jeopardy.
Yeah.
Wasn't that removed?
I thought so, yeah. I mean, look, it wasn't an egregious foul by Perez whatsoever. And honestly, when I watched it, to be quite honest, I thought the Mancosu he gets fouled, but he pushes off as like a little sort of, look at how badly I've been fouled, And I think that's gotten him the red card, because I think if on the face of it, Mancosu probably could have stayed on his feet. There was a foul and there was a bit of contact and a pushing around, but ultimately I think he could have stayed on his feet, Mancosu. But look, you don't have to. This is my thing is always that I don't criticise diaries, because you got to make the referee make a decision, and he made a decision. The red card wasn't the right decision for me. It's a penalty. Give him a yellow card. Yeah. That's all you need to do. I'm so tired of seeing penalties being given and red cards. Like what if it was a foul anywhere else on the pitch, it might not even be a yellow card. So the penalty surely is punishment enough, is it not?
Most definitely. I couldn't agree more. Piatti, who doesn't need any help, he's good enough anyway, slots the penalty. And obviously it was always going to be an uphill struggle then, the 10 men, but they got themselves through to the 94th minute of the game, looking like they were getting a point. And this, on the face of it, this looks like a fortuitous goal. And I guess it is, because the initial shot's going wide, but it's Jackson Hamill. It's an absolutely brilliant bit of improvisation that wins them the game.
It's a worldie, isn't it?
It is.
Ultimately, it's a worldie. I mean, look, here's the thing. When I saw that goal, I thought, oh my God, like he meant every inch of that. Now, did he think it was going to go in? Probably not. He's just trying to turn it on goal, and that's great. That's great instincts from the kid. But, I mean, to lose with not just 10 men for a questionable, I'd say, red card. And I know people are probably going to write in and say, he was the last man, goal scoring opportunity, dogso, whatever. But it's, look, Atlanta's had 2 very unlucky red cards in 2 straight games, I think now. I think Assad, there is up for debate, and if there are people that that think it's a red card, and that's fine. I don't think it's a red card for Assad. I think he was very unlucky. And I praise the way that they kept hold of the ball despite going down a man, and that is all down to Tata Martino and the way that this team plays. Now, remember, for the last couple games, they went on that. They lost the first game of the season, won 2, and won them well. And ruthlessly. And then they lost Joseph Martinez over the international break, and that's 5 goals you're taking out of that team in 3 games. So anyone's going to struggle with that. Anyone. So as soon as he's back in the side and they stop getting red cards, I think that we'll see him turn it around again. But Montreal, a team very close to my heart. I love the city. I love their players as well. There's a great culture, a great soccer culture in Montreal. They're doing that. They're doing everything very well there. But look, they're a team that they grind results. They actually sing that song, we're Montreal and no one likes us, but we don't care, and that's fine. I love that. Actually, in the playoff game against the Red Bulls, what you may not know is before the game, this goes for everybody, they played as an Eric Church song called The Outsiders, and it's a bit country and a bit rock and roll, and they did a video piece to it. That's their attitude in Montreal. I don't care what you think of them. They're going to go out and grind out results and get them anywhere they can, and to be fair to them, they did it against Atlanta. So fair play.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with Atlanta, I have to say. But Montreal, always a good shot. Piatti, Dioro, Mancuso, they've got players there. They've got serious players in that final third. They're 10th in the Eastern Conference at the moment. Atlanta lying in 6th of the final playoff position. Like you said, once they get Martinez back as well, because he was on fire before the injury, of course he was.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Moving for a long period of time. This time out, having an absolute nightmare, bottom of the Eastern Conference, and when you're bottom, you don't want to be welcoming David Villa and co into your backyard when you need a result. But New York City turned up the heat on them, didn't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that's what New York City do. You know, they are one of the best teams in Major League Soccer right now. Make no mistake. Don't take it for granted that they're sitting in fourth right now. I mean, they only have one loss, and even well, actually no, I'm sorry, they have two losses right now. Sorry, I'm just looking at the table in the wrong way. There you go. So two losses, both away from home. And I know you can talk about the pitch, but look, they've got a
excellent. So don't forget, check out all of Scott's work. But he is here, so stay here and listen to him here with me. Obviously, don't be looking anywhere else at the minute. Right, let's get on with it. Week 7 of Major League Soccer. Scott, I'm going to start with a game I watched on Friday night here, which was Philadelphia Union 0, New York City 2. And it was an intriguing game. It was an intriguing game because Philadelphia Union are pants at the moment, results-wise, not necessarily performance-wise. And I think you'd remember last season they started off unbelievably under Jim Curtin and led the Eastern Conference.
Plethora of incredible players, but in a mix of experience and youth too. They've got your journeyman like Tommy McNamara and David Villa with that incredible sort of goal. Did you hear the reason why he actually took that shot as well?
Yeah.
He just said, I was tired from running. Just tired, so I thought I'd have a shot. And it went in. But that's the sort of stuff that New York City can do, right? That's the stuff they can do. And Patrick Vieira has completely transformed them, in my opinion. I'm really excited about what they are doing there in New York right now. And look, Philadelphia, I actually went to school in America. I actually went to school near the Philadelphia Union, and they're big. The Sons of Ben are huge. I mean, they are loyal, and they are, quite excited to be on, for the first of all. Second of all, Beyond the Pitch, it's run by a guy called Phil Brown. We just signed with NBC Sports in America to do podcasts and some video content. I host the MLS edition of Beyond the Pitch, which is one of many iterations that we do. Otisel is a former FC Dallas player, so, he's my co-host there. And, we're just getting it underway. We recorded the first show last week. I actually recorded a show with you and Adam Partington from Grand Old Team the other day, talking about Kyle Larian and going to Everton, so it's all moving in the right direction. And, it's really ramping up for us right now, especially with the MLS season underway. So, really excited.
Welcome to the MLS Show. It is me, Baz. It's a little bit different. Normally record in a studio. I'm not in a studio. I'm in my house because Ped is doing other things. However, I have got a very, very special guest with an excellent knowledge of MLS, I'll say. I don't want to put him too much on the spot. I am joined by Scott Nicholls, who is the host of Beyond the Pitch podcast. It's a lot more than that. So, Scott, just give us a little bit of background about what you do and give us all the information we need.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me on. It's I love watching the MLS show with you and Ped, so it's actually